like it? Did you like it? Did you like it a lot?
That intro is
That was
hot.
Dr. Charm, you all blurry and fuzzy and stuff. Hey, you on the Wi-Fi, baby? You on the Wi-Fi?
I'm blue. How am I buzzy on fur? Oh my god.
Oh no.
You still buzzy, but here, hold on. Let me go ahead and just welcome everybody to Fly Nubian Money, where we help you to master your mindset and maximize your money. I know y'all seen that great intro, right? Well, today we are talking about a topic that's gotten a lot of folks talking. Why some women believe that dating a man over 45 is risky. I want to know, because I'm a woman of a certain age that's over 45. One woman went viral saying that by that age, men are just looking for a caretaker instead of a real partner. Ain't we all? Shit. We have a clip of her sharing exactly why she feels this way, and we're going, to break it all the way down to the very last compound in the ground. But that ain't all. Later on in the show, we're going to discuss a tragic story where a woman was killed by her husband during a conjugal visit. Oh my God. Now, this raises a serious question about the dangers of dating incarcerated men. And how can we protect our sisters from similar situations? That is wild. So today's panel is stacked with insider experts. Miss Dr. Charm, she is psychic medium. She is a medical practitioner, and she's a stand-up comedian. And she's a psychic medium. So psychic medium, stand-up comedian, and
Doctor.
Yes, she can deliver your baby, tell a joke, and predict your future. And then we got Mr. Joe Corley, who is a family therapist. And then we have Miss Licensed Clinical Mental Health Counselor, the b.big.coach.com. Hey, how is everybody doing today? You good? Charm, I need you to get your life together over there. I mean, you good, but you a little fuzzy, baby. You real fuzzy. And I can't even see your lips move at the same time. What's going on?
Oh boy. Okay, I don't know what. I have done everything I can. I'm gonna have to change.
Right. Well, listen, I always love you as being a part of the conversation. So get your life together while we watch this video. We're gonna first watch the video
together. We're gonna get the text together.
All right, cool.
All right.
So we're gonna watch this video and while she gets her life together.
My tech together. My life is perfect.
A little clarification on that. I mean, if you're marrying a man who's 45 plus and he's never been married, meaning you are his first wife. That's what I'm talking about. Not any subsequent marriages. I feel like it's dangerous for two reasons. Number one is it's more likely that you're probably not his type. This man has had his type. Over them 45 years he's been alive, he's had his type. He's had girls he really loved. He's had girls he's really been compatible with. But he skipped over them because he wasn't ready. When he did become ready, because, we think age is never going to catch up with us. But when you do realize that, oh, shoot, I done lost my hair. I'm bald. Oh, shoot. I can't play ball like I used to. My joints and my knees kind of going out on me. You can kind of see age creeping up on you. Then he started to panic. Oh God, I got to find me a wife. I got to have me some kids. First thing he does is try to go back and get them girls he had before that he really did like. She ain't the same woman, if she's even available. And she definitely don't look the same because she probably done had some kids. So then what he says is, oh shoot, she'll do because she's right here. That's you. You the one who he's saying will do. Probably not really his type. Not the best girl he's ever had. He's not his favorite. Not the one he's most been in love with, right? Second reason is this man is obviously averse to marriage. He's been fighting like hell to not be tied down, so it's a bigger risk. Marriage is always a risk. But if a man is 45 and he has never been married and you are his first wife, I don't know about that one, baby. Good luck.
All right, so that's a whole different take that I had initially. So I just thought it was getting married to a man over 45 because he wants somebody to take care of him. But getting married to a man who's never been married over 45 is a whole different ball game. So I understand what she's saying now, which is a little bit different than marrying a man over 45. What you think, Joe? What you think about marrying a man over 45? Well, not you, but a woman married a man over 45 that's never been married.
I'm not over 45, so I'm not qualified to answer.
Shut up.
But no, I don't think that. I think what you said was exactly right. It's a whole different ball game when you're talking about a man that's never been married. There's a lot that goes into a man over 45 that has never been married. There's some questions that need to be answered, some things that need to be understood. I think a man that has been married has an understanding of what he wants and what he doesn't want in a woman more so than and that. And those are honestly the only type of men that I actually know. I don't really even know too many men 45 that have never been married. But I would be curious to have a conversation with them as to what it is that they're looking for. I do know one. My uncle is in his 60s. He's never been married, and he very clearly, intentionally, does not want to be married. So I can say that.
Is he a pimp?
Some like one, yeah. Some like one,
Yeah.
Some like
But his
one.
ass gonna get old and decrepit, and he gonna be looking for that
He
nursing
talking
home,
my uncle.
that nursing home partner, the nursing home partner. He gonna be looking for that.
You dissing my uncle?
Nah, I'm just saying, he getting up there at some point. What do you think about? So it's a difference. Do you think it's a difference, Dr. Felice, of dating a man over 45 who's been married and dating a man over 45 who hasn't been married? Do you think there's some truth to what she said?
It is. There's a lot of truth to that. And, somebody who's 45, I mean, think about when you dated. We always ask dudes too, like, why haven't you ever been married before? Like, we don't believe that that's a normal thing. Like, there's something going on with that man can you hear me?
Yeah.
There's something going on with that man if he isn't married yet or in a serious relationship by the time he's 45. And I think that lady there's something to it. I don't know how risky it is, but I do know that men peak. They peak in their late 20s and 30s. And so women really need to be cautious. And it's backwards, because men, though they peak so early, but they love younger women, and it's out of order. Really, we should be the ones dating men younger because we peak so much later. So it's out of order, but it's a fertility thing. And so I think that there is.
What do you mean we peak? What do you mean peak? Peak meaning what?
That means that they've reached their max almost. Like, their physical peak. For men, they peak around their late 20s to their 30s, like their testosterone levels are their highest then, and then they start depleting.
Mm-hmm.
Testosterone is huge for a man. And so their attractiveness peaks. If you go to your homecomings, men don't age as well as women do normally physically. They have to do a lot more intentionality in order to make sure that they look and age properly. So it's a difference. And it's no judgment. It just is what it is. It's the science. Okay. And so what it means, since we peak later, in order to be aligned, we need to be dating men who are younger, not older.
Okay. All right. So, okay. I got it. I'm picking up what you're putting down. Mark, why you say it was fake news though? That's what I want to know. Why Mark say it's fake news? What you mean, Mark? Dr. Charm, Dr. Charm. So when we first started talking about this, I was like, well, shit, who don't want to date him? Who don't want to be taken care of after 45? But do you think there's a difference in dating somebody who's never been married after 45 as opposed to somebody who has been married after 45?
Well, we're dealing with a purse or a nurse situation. And so a lot of times these older guys, they are looking for they haven't invested, they haven't done their finances, they haven't been financially responsible. So they're looking for a woman with a pension plan and a good job. That's the purse. And then we're also dealing with the nurse with her health problems. Now, we just saw Gene Hackman. I don't know if everybody knows about the actor Gene Hackman, who was in Superman and a lot of different movies. And he and his wife both were found dead in their house in Santa Fe, New Mexico. He had been dead. She'd been dead a week before him. Now, he was 95 and she was 65. Now, she's dealing with a very, very wealthy man. And so it was worth it. But people are like, well, why didn't the kids check on him? I guess he was estranged from the kids. They didn't have a nurse. This man had Alzheimer's. So basically, this 65-year-old woman was being the primary caretaker for a man who was 30 years older than her. And it was to the point where he had Alzheimer's so advanced, they are saying that he didn't even know that she had died because she died from a hantavirus. And so you're dealing with that. Now, fortunately, this Asian woman that he was married to, she was smart. She got with somebody that had some money and he left everything to her. So, but we're dealing with, in our communities where we don't have that type of wealth, you're dealing with somebody that's looking for a purse and a nurse. And I don't think it's fair to women who are taking care of themselves to have to be somebody's caregiver and not get anything in return. And here's the thing, we talked about this on the last show that I was in. Most of the time, the men are being brought to the doctor by their wives. So they're going to do that regardless, whether the man is sick or healthy. We're the reason that they're getting to the doctor. So no, I am over 45. I'll be 50 in 2 years. And I am not dating men in my age range because number one, I don't look 48. And number two, I'm screening your health history as a doctor. Do you have uncontrolled diabetes?
Wait. Go back. Wait. Hold on. We got to go to a commercial, but you talked about a whole lot. My question to you though, Dr. Charm, was, do you think it's difference between marrying a man who's been married over 45 and not been married over 45? Is there a difference?
There is the difference, but to me, it's still the same. The equivalency is that they are still looking for a caretaker if they've
been married or not. Whether they've been married
or not, they're still looking for a caretaker if they have not cared for themselves.
Okay. All right, bet. All right, we're going to go to commercial. We're going to come back. I want to finish this conversation because I'm interested, because I'm a woman of a certain age. I'm out here in these dating streets, and I need to know what I should be looking for. Let's go to a commercial.
It's a good show right here, but I'm biased. If you are just tuning in, you are watching Fly Nubian Money, where we help you master your mindset and maximize your money. My name is Tiara Williams. I'm also known as Miss Black Hollywood, and I'm the proud producer of this show because it is lit. If you want to receive notifications for when we go live Monday through Friday, 1 to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All you have to do is text the word Queens to 87948. That's Queens to 87948. That's QUEENS to 87948. Also, if you want to grow your money and not blow your money, all you have to do is go to flynubianmoney.com. There's all kinds of resources, there's courses, there's free giveaways. There's just no reason to be broke in 2025. All you have to do is go to flynubianmoney.com. Obviously, you don't want to be entertained here. You want to know enough to grow. Wait, I need to put that on a shirt. You got to know to grow. Got to know to grow. So know and grow with flynubianmoney.com.
Let me tell you something, Kobe. Don't come in here and talk your shit. Look at, you see what y'all see this mess that Kobe said, women age like milk, men age like fine wine. Some Negro had the nerve to tell me that at when I went to a little happy hour. Most women's eggs are done by 35. Women peak early, not men. Too many of our women are so ignorant about things related to men. Shut your ass up, Kobe. That's a working of the mother effing day. All right, Ms. Black Hollywood, what you got to say about that? The question is, do you think it's different dating a man who's never been married as opposed to a man who's been married at 45? Is it more dangerous? Oh, shoot.
No, I don't think it's more dangerous. I think it's just based on who you pick, where they are in their lives. If you pick somebody, you find somebody that is healthy and that wants to be married and be with a woman. He's like, man, I just never married. I never figured it out. It took me a while to mature. I don't think they're so bad. We have late bloomers. It really just depends on the person and where they've been. Now, I will say that divorcees are probably the best to date because they have already been through it and they're like, most of the time their motivation is like, I want to get it right this time. I want to be the best husband I can be to you. Agreed. That, those are the things I hear in the streets anyway. And so they've done it before. So I think there's I'm a little more attracted to that. But if he hasn't been married, I haven't been married. So it's like, but I'm not 45 yet, but still, I still feel like it's okay to be a late blossomer. Like that's okay.
Yeah. I agree about the men, how being 40, I dealt with somebody who was 50 and had never been married. And I vowed that I'd never do it again. I didn't say dated. I said dealt with. But I found that he was selfish. I felt that like he didn't like compromise. He'd been probably through so many relationships. He didn't want to kind of work through things. He was a runner. Like there was so many like things that just dealing with this person who had never been married because he had never been willing to make a commitment. So I don't think he knew how to do that. He didn't know how to compromise. You don't know how to work with anybody. You don't know how to have that type of relationship because you never had it. He never had to try. Now, when his ass get probably to, you know, where he's really non-functional, I'm sure he'll settle his ass down. But I vowed after that I would never, ever, ever date anybody who's never been married before. On the other hand, I did talk to this guy over the weekend, and he was late. He was in his 40s when he got married. And he said, I've always wanted to be married. And I treat my wife like this. I do this for her. I'm very intentional. I do, you know, because I've always wanted to be married. And so I think, you know, it just depends. But I know for me personally, I wouldn't date anybody just because I've been married and I know what it means to compromise and share. And, you know, you got all that stuff that it takes to be married. I would probably not do it. But let me ask you this. Huh?
Cousins, can I respond to Mark Kelly real quick? Because he is just so hung up on what Dr. Felice said. I mean, he just can't get over it. Here's the deal, brother. Like, you know, after a while, sometimes when men touch their 40s, they start balding, probably like at the end of their 30s. They start balding. They need the Beijing. You know,
not the Beijing.
The Beijing, right? In their 40s, like women are reaching their sexual peak, I think, and I think men's sexual peak is declining because they've already
y'all got ED and shit.
Like, he's asking for scientific facts, but those are things. I mean, these are things. Come on, Mark, that you can chat GPT, brother. Like, you know, or see out in these streets. Like,
well, the life expectancy of men is far less than women. Women outlive men, so you can look that up. That is definitely, I don't know the exact statistic, but we all know that. So we're already dealing with the opposite sex that has a shorter lifespan.
Yeah.
So let's to keep that the question though. Do you think it's different for a woman that's never been married than a man of a certain age that's never been married? I want to start with Tiara. Let me start with Tiara because since Tiara mentioned, well, I've never been married. Is it the same for a man who's never been married as it is for a woman that's never been married?
No.
I'm letting Felice answer because she
no,
ready.
No, because you think about it. First of all, when a black man is not married by 45, something's going on. Because first of all, they're the most coveted man on the planet.
Right.
Most ethnicities want a black man. They love black men. Mm-hmm. And so when they're not married, it's a totally different ball game. But for us, you know, they got that propaganda about black women that we're not desirable with, like all this stereotypes, which is not true. And so what does that mean? When we're not married, because a lot of black women, we're like the last of the Mohegans. We love black men too, and we're very loyal. Yes. And so a lot to a fault. We don't want anybody else but a black man. But our black men, for the most part, a lot of them not checking for us. So when you see a black woman who is not married at 45, it's not because she wants to be. I'm not saying that there's some black women out there who choose not to be married. That's something different. But for the most part, if a black woman has not been married yet, it's not because she's not trying to be.
But then it also goes back to the thing where people validate a woman's worth by the fact that she has a man or not. You know, we've seen in the comments, people told me that's why you ain't got no man. Having a man does not determine my worthiness. Like I don't base my worthiness of me and my happiness by having a man. I mean, it kind of goes back to that, Dr. Felice, don't you think?
No, it does. But we're the only ones who have to say that. A white woman doesn't say that.
Right. Absolutely.
All right.
You're right.
Right. And so it's a difference. And I got married later in life.
How old were you?
I was 48. And so I got married later, and it was good. I probably would have been divorced before then. But it wasn't
like most 48-year-olds are divorced at this point.
It wasn't because I wasn't trying, and I wasn't trying to be out there and be exposed to black men. I did. You know, I was trying. And most of my friends were in my same circle. It was ridiculous. We were like really educated, God-fearing, loving kind. I mean, we all got some issues, right? But for the most part, we were dateable and marriageable, and it wasn't happening. And I hear this story over and over and over with my peers who are 40 and over who have never been married. And that is ridiculous. And it's because they hanging on and they got to have a black man. And so, you know, as long as they're hanging on and have to have a black man, you know, it's you know, it's sad.
You know what's funny though, when you say that, I was at something with my girlfriend, and her son was turning 30, and you had all of his friends and all of her friends, and it was so funny because all of his friends were all of a certain age, and they had their little families, and they was married, and then you have all of us, her friends that were all divorced. That had been like that. I was like, damn, that was us 20 years ago, and now here we are on the other side. But for you, Dr. Joe, because folks want to hear what you got to say. Why is the bro on the panel so damn quiet?
Yeah,
I want you to respond to because Mark is responding to Dr. Felice's comment about men peaking, and he's basically saying you ain't defending the brothers.
Yeah, for one, I'm gonna say I'm quiet because no one's asking me what I think. You know what I mean? I'm not. I don't go back and forth with people who aren't interested in what I have to say. So until you ask me, I'm not talking. For one, two, listen, I don't know why we're talking about, you know, in the context of this conversation, men peaking and whatnot. Like, what does that have to do with anything that we're speaking?
Has everything to do with the conversation, because we're talking about men at 45 not being dateable or wanting somebody to take care of them. That's exactly it should be part of the conversation. Yes.
Okay, so explain to me why.
Because go ahead, Dr. Felice.
The reason I'm going to tell you why, right? Because first of all, a lot of times men like younger women for fertility issues. People think it's just that they're pedophiles and stuff. It's not pedophilia. It is fertility. It's about them being able to give birth. That's something that they're attracted to. So on the opposite end, for a woman who is still in her prime and you're peaking sexually, she's not going to be as satisfied unless you're really good and imaginative, which a lot of brothers are. Right. So, right. And physically, she look good, but you don't look as good. Like all of those things, we got to be real about how people get up with one another. Physical attraction, virility, fertility, all of those things matter. So if you're peaking and she's young, that is so unfair. So what does that mean? That means you cannot satisfy her in bed, and then you want her to be your nurse when you can't get up. That is not right. And it does matter. And the woman needs to think about those things.
If I'm rich, none of that matters.
The man.
That matters. It only matters the men that can't financially provide. If all this stuff that you're talking about only comes into play when a woman isn't getting taken care of financially.
That's not necessarily true, Joe. All women are not necessarily.
You're saying necessarily, but I'm saying we be in general, right? Everything you're saying is not necessarily true. You know what I mean? Like the fact of the matter.
But that's completely unadulteratedly false.
Cut me off, or you gonna let me?
Unequivocally.
Can we allow Joe to talk, y'all?
Because if I can't finish what I got to say, I don't really need to be here. Is what I'm trying to tell you.
Oh God, here we go.
Yeah, here we go. I'm just saying that if you are financially if you have the money, none of this stuff y'all talking about matters. Women do not give a shit. A lot of women do not care.
Gene Hackman.
If you have so-called peaked or whatever, or declined even, you still can get a woman if you got money. So that's what I'm saying. Like this stuff it doesn't play into the context of the conversation to me. I don't think we should be talking about that. We're talking about why men over 45 could be risky. I don't see what that plays into the conversation. I just don't get it.
Can we do this? Can we watch the video one more time? Because let me just, now that we've all had conversation, right? It's not that long. Let's just watch it one more time, just one more time. Can you play that video for me?
A little clarification on that. I mean, if you're marrying a man who's 45 plus and he's never been married, meaning you are his first wife. That's what I'm talking about, not any subsequent marriages. I feel like it's dangerous for two reasons. Number one is, it's more likely that you're probably not his type. This man has had his type. Over them 45 years he's been alive, he's had his type. He's had girls he really loved. He's had girls he's really been compatible with. But he skipped over them because he wasn't ready. When he did become ready, because, we think age is never going to catch up with us. But when you do realize that, oh, shoot, I done lost my hair, I'm bald. Oh, shoot. I can't play ball like I used to. My joints and my knees kind of going out on me. You can kind of see age creeping up on you. Then he started to panic. Oh God, I got to find me a wife. I got to have me some kids. First thing he does is try to go back and get them girls he had before that he really did like. She ain't the same woman, if she's even available. And she definitely don't look the same because she probably done had some kids. So then what he says is, oh shoot, she'll do because she's right here. That's you. You the one who he's saying will do. Probably not really his type. Not the best girl he's ever had. He's not his favorite. Not the one he's most been in love with, right? Second reason is this man is obviously averse to marriage. He's been fighting like hell to not be tied down, so it's a bigger risk. Marriage is always a risk. But if a man is 45 and he has never been married and you are his first wife, I don't know about that one, baby. Good luck.
Okay,
So
so now that we've heard it again, right?
So Dr. Charm, what you think? Do you have any other opinion on it?
I agree with Dr. Felice in that if he's 45 and he's never been married, I'm a little bit suspicious. Just because for Black women, we're dealing with 1 out of 3 Black men having some type of contact with the criminal justice system, which will lead into our next topic. So we're dealing with that. We're dealing with the fallacies and the myths about Black women, but we're race loyal. And so there is a higher likelihood that we will be unmarried. There's a large percentage of Black women who will never get married because they're holding out for Black men. So that is really the main reason I think that you see Black women who are in their 40s that have never been married.
So to your point, to her point, Tiara, do you think that men are settling when they're in their 40s and when they finally decide to settle down? Are they settling?
Yeah, I think when men are ready, they look around and whoever, and I'm not saying they don't spin the block, they'll kind of just look around. I remember just reading an article about like Eddie Murphy or seeing an interview, and basically with his new wife, it was almost like when you look at his new wife, right? It's just like, what about her? I think men literally just kind of look around and they go, I'm ready. So you, that I've been around, come here, like let's marry. I do think there's an element of that. Like I don't because when they're ready, they're ready. Like I hear a lot of men, you know, when they're ready to marry, they just, you know, like I said, they just look to whoever they're with at that time. I think that's who they marry. Yeah. It's not necessarily like you're my dream girl, I've been waiting for you all my life. It's just like, I'm ready. Yeah. This is cool. What's up?
Nikki said men at seasoned age that never married, he wants a younger woman. He hoed around all his whole life, but your penis ain't even working at that point, and you had a nerve to want somebody young. That's crazy. Let's go to a commercial and we will be right back.
I know you're busy, you got things to do, and you can't take us on the go with you every single day. Good news for you, we are now on Spotify. So if you can't watch us, now you can listen to us on Spotify. Search Fly Nubian Money and all the episodes shall appear. All you have to do is like, subscribe, leave a 5-star rating, leave some comments, tell people how you love us so that when other people come along and are looking for a great show to watch, they can find Fly Nubian Money too. One last thing, and just in case you've been sitting under a rock, Fly Nubian Money now has an investment club. We are the Fly Nubian Money Club. It's easy. All you have to do is go to flynubianmoneyclub.com, and I am committed to bringing in top experts from all industries to help you level up. They're teaching us the skills that we need to compete in this market. We often say that nobody is coming to save us, not the government, but guess what? We're coming to save us. I'm coming to save you with the Fly Nubian Money Club. So listen, all you have to do again is go to flynubianmoneyclub.com. We have a 30-day free trial set up just for you, just for those people that are struggling. Even if you ain't struggling, you ain't got to struggle. I'm coming. Okay, let me stop playing. I'll see you soon.
All right, y'all. Okay, so next, there is a whole topic. I don't even know if you guys know about it, but there was a woman who was with this, she's a 62, I think she was 62. Yeah, 62-year-old grandma. She married a convicted killer that she met in prison. And y'all, I don't know if you guys seen the video of her. She was crying and she was just, she's in love with Jesus, but she ended up getting killed by her husband during a conjugal visit. Let's take a look at the video.
A notorious LA killer serving life in prison without the possibility of parole reportedly strangled his wife to death during a conjugal visit. 54-year-old David Brinson was convicted in the 1990 execution-style murders of 4 men in the Mid-Wilshire District. Authorities say last November, while at Mule Creek State Prison in Northern California, he told officers his 62-year-old wife Stephanie had passed out during a conjugal visit. She was declared dead at the scene. 4 months later, a coroner confirmed that she was strangled to death. The Amador County District Attorney is awaiting the prison's full report before filing charges against Brinson. Brinson has since been transferred to a state prison in Stockton. A notorious...
So the question here lies, are women getting desperate? Why aren't women marrying men who are available? What do you think about that, Joe?
Because of the security that comes with dating unavailable men, right? There's only so much hurt or so much you can endure from an unavailable man. And, there's a lot of that going around, You'll see a lot of women who have been consistently disrespected and let down in love, chase after married men or imprisoned men, just because there's only so much, there's no expectation that comes with it. There, you can only get to a certain point, and then you cannot be let down. And that's just what it is. So there's safety and security in that. At least that's what the women that I counsel, that's what they believe.
So, Dr. Felice, for you, like, does it reek of desperation? Isn't that dangerous that women are dating men who are doing this type of time in prison? Like, and I'm talking about like sexually dangerous as well.
Possibly. But there's a lot of men out here in these streets that are just as dangerous, if not more so. But I think that there's something to what Joe's saying as far as the security. I do believe that it's loneliness. I do believe that it's a longing to belong and have somebody for yourself. And it's an emotional connection, right? A lot of it is through texting, over the phone, it's emailing, it's pen paling, right? All of those things help a woman to build an emotional connection.
That's true.
And on the outside, a lot of women that I know aren't even getting that. They're getting an occasional text. Nobody's talking to them over the phone, but these men ain't got nothing else to do. You know what I mean? So they have the time to devote to a woman on an emotional level that she's not going to get on the outside, possibly. And the numbers for Black women are just not there. And so I don't mean any harm, but a lot of our fine, good-looking men, they in jail. And so, don't get me wrong, but they're good looking, they're fine, they working out, all of that stuff. And so it builds the imagination. All of that stuff plays a part into a woman wanting to connect. And they feel safer. Some women have gone through trauma, so they don't have to worry about the pain that comes with a man not giving them the attention that they need. They feel desired. Those men really pump up a woman's ego and lets her know she's wanted. So there's a lot of reasons why a woman finds herself attracted and in need of having to go to not normal places to find love.
Yeah. I've talked to several people who worked in jails. One was a friend of mine's mother. She worked, she was some type of counselor. And then another one was my friend's father, who was a correctional officer. And they said anybody who's been, both of them said the same thing, different times. Anybody who's been doing like over 2-3 years, they are definitely having sex with other men. And so Dr. Charm, for when you talked about what 1 in 3 men being incarcerated, how come women aren't understanding that part of it? Or even when they come home from, doing a bit in jail, these men probably had same-sex relationships.
Well, here's the thing. When men are having sex with men in prison, this is called situational homosexuality. And so that basically means that but for the fact that they are in that particular situation, they would not be homosexual or exhibiting homosexual behavior. But because they're in a jail, it happens in high percentages in jails and military, because you're dealing with a lot of people who are of the same sex and do not have an outlet. And this is one of the reasons why I feel that jail is very cruel and inhumane, because that's inhumane. And then it is contributing to the spread of HIV amongst Black women, because men once you have engaged in that, then you get used to that. And so that is somewhat normalized for you. And then these men are coming out of jail. They've got women waiting on them, and then they're having sex with women, but now they have been exposed and have gotten accustomed to having sex with men. And there's a higher rate of HIV transmission with homosexual sex because of the anal sex that is involved. It causes small tears or what we call fissures in the anus. And so then the disease can be transmitted from anal sex. And so this is killing Black women and causing HIV rates to skyrocket. And now in many states, having HIV and not disclosing it is no longer criminalized. It's not a felony anymore. And so they don't have a duty of care to tell a woman that they have HIV.
Oh, it's not?
No. It's been decriminalized because now you have people who can be on HIV antiretrovirals and be, well, PrEP is to keep you from getting HIV. Once someone has HIV, they can be on antiretrovirals, and it can get to the point where HIV is undetectable in their blood. Like Magic Johnson, his HIV is undetectable in his blood because of how good the drugs are now. And that's one of the reasons why it's been decriminalized.
Wow. So James said, Constance, stop believing that bullshit. I'm telling you what somebody told me who actually worked in the prison. So you must be fresh out the pen. You've been on me today. Ever since you was on my podcast earlier, you've been all over me today, James. What's happening? Yesterday you loved me, today you hate me. What the hell going on? Because I said I don't like men that are 5'4". Sorry about that. Anyway, Tiara. So like you said, that might be somebody else's ministry, but that ain't your ministry, dating nobody in jail. What kind of women are attracted to men like that? I know Dr. Felice said it's like, there's this emotional connection, but like what kind of women do you think that would like go and seek somebody? Because you remember Charles Manson had bitches, like all these people in prison for the rest of their life that will never see the light of day got women writing them, and like what's the obsession?
I don't know. I'm gonna be honest. I have a couple cousins who would write men and go see them and drive all these hours upstate Pennsylvania to see them. And I didn't understand because those cousins are beautiful women and beautiful girls. They have things going on for them. They're smart, and and you're involving yourself, which feels like, I don't know, it just felt weird, right? Like I was like, this is just it's not my ministry. And she was like, no, I mean, he's gonna come home. He needs somebody. He needs somebody there for him. One of the things that caught my eye about this story was that the lady said, what's her name again? She said that she could fix him. And so they used to have, according to the videos, they used to have Bible study, and they would pray together. And like, he was really playing this role with her. And not saying that, I don't know if something in him snapped, but I guess, women feeling like they can fix men and they're good men. And I'm pretty sure there's good men in prison. Like I'm not shitting completely on men in prison, but it's like the choices that have been made to get there, you kind of have to pay for it, because you can't have somebody that comes home with you and lays with you and is with you. But you're asking me what kind of women. I would just say, maybe at that time my cousins were young. They were young and they were kind of naive, and they felt guilted, like they had talked to the guy before and he was like, man, I need somebody to hold me down or whatever. And they felt like there was, like Dr. Felice said, there was this obligation that they had to drive up and go and put money on his books and all of that. Like, that's crazy.
But you're dealing with sociopaths in jail. You have a high percentage of people who are sociopathic, which means that they lack empathy. They commit crime. They have to have an element of criminality in order to be classified as a sociopath. And so they can be highly manipulative. So this is, you have people that are mentally ill. So you're dealing with maybe narcissistic personality disorders, sociopathy. And so they can prey on people who are vulnerable to being manipulated.
Yeah, that explains a lot, because they know, I think that they could see there's certain things that these type of women that they're manipulating, and they could see like these weak women that will fall for the bullshit. Let's go to
empaths. Well, we won't call them weak.
Empaths.
We'll call them empaths.
You're right. Because
an empath will send you money. They'll be like, oh man, how are you today? How do you feel? Whatever you need. Like, listen, like, you get caught up, and somebody that got game, that's, like Dr. Trump said, that was great, Dr. Trump. That will take advantage of that and won't think nothing of it.
It's a stereotype, though, that they're only preying on empath. They can be, it depends on what level of narcissist they are, because if he's a higher level, highly manipulative narcissist, and he's dealing with a woman who's a narcissist who he's feeding her ego and he's feeding that narcissistic behavior, you could be dealing with two narcissists. Of course, you can deal with empath, but let's not forget about the woman could be narcissistic too, because she gets attention from having this relationship with this prison man.
You know, listen, why can't people just be normal? Like, this is, you know, and being like single and hearing about all these narcissists and all the sociopathic stuff that's going on. Why can't people just be normal? We're going to talk more about it when we come back from the break.
Are you a Black business owner looking to expand your reach? Well, has Fly Nubian Money got good news for you? We are building a Black business directory to connect you with customers who need your services. And here is the best part. It is absolutely free. Email us at info@realvirtual.net. Send us your business name. Tell us a little bit about what you do, you know, what services you offer, your website address, and your contact information. That's it. Together, we are going to build and circulate the Black dollar. Get listed today and start connecting with people who are probably already looking for you.
Dang, Kobe is on one today, brother. And I'm so glad that you're chiming in, because we love for you to talk back to us and talk Black to us. He said, damn, these women hate Black men. I don't know where we said we hate Black men just because y'all be going to jail and shit and getting AIDS. So much that they chose to lie about us. Oh my God. When they could just look up the statistics and learn. Oh my God. Damn, he mad. Well, let's look up some statistics. Let's go to some slides and look up some statistics actually. The practice of conjugal visits, now known as family visits, began in the early 1900s in a Mississippi state penitentiary. Initially, it was a racially segregated program aimed at incentivizing labor among Black inmates. By the 1990s, 17 states had such programs, but support dwindled and most states phased them out by 2010. Today, only California, Connecticut, New York, and Washington currently allows conjugal or family visits. Opposition to conjugal visits, critics argue that these visits pose security risks. I mean, look at what happened. They undermine the punitive aspect of incarceration and are costly to maintain. High-profile incidents like Stephanie Brinson's case have intensified calls for stricter regulations or outright bans, which are probably going to do now. A phenomenon known as hybristophilia, is that what you said, Dr. Charm? Is a psychological attraction to individuals who have committed violent crimes. Some women feel safer in relationships with incarcerated men. They believe physical separation and controlled environment of a prison provide a sense of security. This dynamic can be appealing to women who have experienced abusive relationships in the past. Or they have the rescue fantasy. Many women believe that their love can save or rehabilitate the criminal. They see themselves, I think those are like empaths too, right? They see themselves as the one person who truly understands the man and can help him change. So that's interesting, because let's see what type of, and I want you therapists to see, I want to know, I mean, even you, Dr. Charm, because you sound like you have a lot of therapy background too, but I want to run this video of the lady that got killed, and does she fall in line with any of these types that were listed on here? So let's look at this video.
I have doubts if I'm going to post this because I look so bad. But if there's somebody out there and you've done a lot and you know you love people, you know you do, search your heart. Ask God to help you heal from whatever that is that's hurting you, because you have to love everybody. You have to truly love. And I think that if we fall in love with Jesus, really fall in love with him, the worst of enemies can't hurt us. I've seen people have testimonies where somebody killed their child and they prayed for that person's soul.
Good morning, everybody. It's me, Stevie. It's my birthday guest, and I just want to say thank you to everybody for all the wonderful text messages this morning and the birthday wishes on Facebook. I'm very excited about this day. I'm going to have a great day. In fact, this whole year has been the best year I've had consistently for 12 years. I'm so happy. So thank you for everything, and you guys have a great day too. Thanks. Bye.
This is the story of Stephanie Brinson, a 62-year-old grandmother who was strangled and killed while having an overnight, conjugal visit with her convicted murderer husband at a California prison. Her husband, David Brinson, who was convicted for killing 4 people in 1994, met her while he was in prison, married her, then killed her during a conjugal visit.
That's crazy. So I want to know from the therapist, like, what would you label? We'll start with Joe. What would you label this woman as being out of those things that we saw? If you could bring the slide back, does she fall in one of these categories? So, phenomenal hybris. How do you say that? Hybristophilia. Someone feels safer in relationships with incarcerated men, or they have rescue fantasy, or what was the other one? Was there another one?
I think that's it.
Okay,
I saw a quote of her saying, I saw a quote of the family saying that she thought she could fix him. So fix and save are the same. But go ahead, Joe.
Yeah, what you think?
Please.
Honestly, I'd rather hear Felice talk about it first. I'm still trying to process it.
I think she had a need to be needed, and she loves to help people. And I think I sense some loneliness in her too. Look at her. I mean, she's a good-looking woman at 62.
Beautiful.
She had a whole lot of life ahead of her, but too, out in the real world with her age, she probably wasn't getting the or the companionship that she really desired. And so he probably fit and filled a void for her. And he filled the void of, he pretended he needed her. You know, probably went along with the Jesus stuff that she was, given to him. And so I think that she trusted him, and she trusted the wrong person.
You trusted the wrong motherfucker. What you think, Dr. Charm?
Dr. Charm, and then also, can you tell me how you meet somebody that's doing life in prison? Like, how do you bump into them? This ain't the club. Like, how does that happen?
Oh, they have prison websites. So she has a total she had a total lack of self-preservation because, one, getting involved with a man who was convicted of a violent crime. Like, there are plenty of men in prison who had done maybe, been convicted for drug offenses, robbery. But anytime you get into violent crime and you don't really know that he's killed 4 people, 4 life sentences without a possibility of parole. So she did think she could fix him. She's lonely. And what if this woman had just said, hey, I have high enough self-esteem to know that I can date somebody of maybe another race, maybe younger or even older, but of another race. But most important, that's not in prison. Yeah. And so I believe, she does kind of come across stereotypically as this empath, this bleeding heart, very religious. And I wonder if if she got a level of addiction to saving him, being this Christian, oh, I'm having a great day, everybody, I've got to put on this great face. But you've got to be dealing with a lot of wounds to get involved with someone who was convicted of a violent crime, that's in prison, allowing yourself to be manipulated. And then she would fall to me in the category of a rescuer. So that's another archetype of a rescuer.
And
it cost her life.
Those people.
You said what?
He killed those people execution style.
He did.
So it's not, like they were they went into they went in to rob the family or whoever was there, or went in to rob the people. It was 4 people. He had them down on the ground, and when they didn't find anything, they just found like a little bit of weed.
Yeah.
He just shot them in the back of the head while they were laying on the floor. So it's execution. It's not even like, oh, I didn't do it. He did it.
Yeah, it was cold-blooded.
She has no self-preservation, and it's sad because my heart breaks for her, because this is a woman that looks like she took very good care of herself.
Yeah.
I'm just here to say I am not being prejudiced against Black men. I love Black men. I would love to open myself to marrying Black men, but I have opened myself up to other races, because Black women, we cannot be dealing with this. I would rather this woman had dated someone outside of her race that was appropriate for her than be holding out for a killer.
Wait, Dr. Charm.
Because listen,
Dr. Charm.
What we're not going to do is act like you can end up on one of these murder crimes on Netflix.
Dr. Charm.
Is act like Bob won't kill your ass too. Like,
but the thing is that female violence, the #1 perpetrator of violence against Black women is Black men. So let's not.
Dr. Charm, when we talk about other races, are you talking about outside the diaspora?
I am talking about someone who is non-Black. Now I don't
like non-melanated.
Say it again.
Like non-melanated. I just need to be clear here. What are we talking about, sis?
Whatever. Somebody who's not a black man.
Oh,
so I would rather that this woman had gone with a white man than to be with a killer. But either way, she could have gone to a different country for a black man. But then you got to worry about the green card murderers, or not murderers, but the people using you for a green card. If she was going to get used, at least if it was a brother from the motherland that was using for a green card, she'd still have her life, and she'd just be absent a man, and he got this green card and was taking care of his wife and children over in Africa. But I would really have appreciated if this woman could have explored her other options than to settle for this convicted killer. And that shows me that she was unevolved. No matter what this Christian front and this bleeding heart that she, portrayed, she was unevolved and had no self-preservation, none.
Yeah.
It's heartbreaking.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I went to this church on Sunday, and it was a bunch of old men that looked like corpses in there that I think she would have been a great match for. Like, there's a lot of old men in the church that she probably could have been attracted to. I don't know why she was this holy, but she sought out that type of man, which is just interesting.
And he could have left her a life insurance policy. I mean, if he got a good pension, a good life insurance, put $1 million on him, at least if he died, he'd leave her with something.
Yeah.
Even if he was at death's door, got one foot in the grave and the
right.
other in the hospital.
Right, but you're gonna choose a man who killed 4 people execution style. What does that make? What type of woman is that, Joe? Why would a woman like her, being this church-going person, this bleeding heart, was this an act that she was putting out there? Was something missing here?
We can look at the whole situation and say that something doesn't seem to be right? Trying to speculate on like why is, this obviously doesn't benefit her in any way. So why would anybody lean into something that doesn't benefit them? Well, depends on where her wounds are and what they are. You know what I mean? Like why? We don't know, understand why people show up the way they do, but we can look at it and say something about this doesn't seem right. And then we have to analyze how this woman was hurt in her lifetime. How have men, or the men that were supposed to show up in her life, showed up? Or how have they let her down? How have they disappointed her? You know what I mean? There's more questions than answers, which is why I don't like to, jump out and say whatever without kind of listening to y'all perspective, because I want to hear kind of where you think she's coming from as a woman. And then once I hear it, I'm like, okay, well, we don't really know. We have more questions than answers, honestly.
Yeah. Do you guys know anybody on the panel know anybody who successfully married somebody that was in prison and they're living happily ever after? Any of y'all know anybody like that?
I was addicted. My daughter got me addicted to Love After Lockup. And when I tell you that became my show, but and I saw some couples that actually stayed married, like the crazy lady in Utah. She was on the first, I think, what was the first season that she was a Mormon, and I can't remember her name. Was it Andrea?
Who did she marry? Which one did she marry?
She married the guy that had got out of prison, and he went for drugs or something. He was in a gang, but I think they actually had what it takes to make it, because he hadn't killed anyone, and he really loved that woman. I think it was Andrea, and he really appreciated her, and he just wanted to do his best for her. And in that kind of situation, he was out of jail. He wasn't in jail anymore, but they did start their relationship while they were in prison. And then it looks like they even paid somebody off, and she got pregnant in the broom closet or something, because she revealed on the show that their daughter was actually his biological daughter, and we thought it was his stepdaughter. So anyways, I love After Lockup. That's my show.
So that's your person, that got out and got successful.
But what I will say is that what I have noticed with Love After Lockup, and I think the people who are waiting for them on the outside don't understand, is that these men are coming out of prison with PTSD. It was so glaringly obvious. And so somebody coming out of prison has PTSD. And obviously, if you're dating or married to somebody who's in prison, they have got to be at risk for PTSD, because the hallmark of PTSD is that you have to have a real fear that you are going to die, and they're in a situation that they could be killed.
Yeah, man, they're institutionalized. You know what I mean? Like especially if they've been in prison like a long period of time, like this is what they know. And so I always wondered about that. Like men, especially who've been doing like 20-year bids, they come out and do they get married? Can they live like a normal life? And how about the partners that are with them? You know, how are they able to really support that person who's done 20 years? Because 20 years of your life, that's a whole lifestyle. You know what I mean? So anyway, man, this was a great conversation. Let's go ahead and wind this down with our final thoughts on this. Let's start with you, Joe.
Okay, so firstly, quickly, I want to address, I see I'm getting cooked in these comments, and that's cool. Listen, coming here to watch me, whether I agree or disagree with anything said here, I respect these women a great deal. So I'm not just going to jump over them and start cutting them off and talking over them. But, you know, when it's time for me to talk, I'll talk, and we'll leave that at that. I see y'all cooking me in them comments, and it's cool. I think somebody called me neutered earlier, which is crazy. But anyway, what I want to say is, listen, it's good men out there losing their hair. It's good men out there whose penises don't work anymore. It's good men that are financially struggling. It's good men in prison. And which is why when I said I was confused earlier, is that I don't want to tie the black man's value up in those type of things. So we have to get an understanding of, you know, where all this is coming from. I totally understand black women being tired because that's part of the plan. It's been part of the plan to systematically emasculate the black man since the origin of him being here, and then get the black woman to be tired of him. So if whatever you want to do, sis, to gain your peace, it's totally up to you. But I'm not really into engaging in conversations that spark gender wars. I just want to know how we can heal, lift each other up, and move forward. That's all I'm ever going to care about. I recognize that black women have problems, black men have problems, and it's been part of the plan since the beginning. So let's come together. Let's talk about how we heal, move forward, and elevate each other. That's all I want. That's all I'm on. But you can contact me at realuconsulting.com. You can have more conversations of meaning with me on Tuesday nights on Vulnerability is the New Sexy. We talking about these type of things, and it's all positivity, and that's all we on. So I love y'all. Have a good day.
All right, Miss Tiara.
Okay, I'm just gonna keep it super short. I love what Joe said. That was great. I think that we as women just have to be more mindful about the way we show up and the way we date and what we're, just be clear on what we're looking for. I'm not saying that black women are the most unprotected women, or I'm not saying that, but it feels like in this world there are a lot of there's a lot of venom that is shot in our way. It feels like this woman trusted this man and was like, I'm safe. He loves Jesus with me. I can fix him. I can save him. And it was to her detriment. So I think this should just be a cautionary tale for us all to just still be, just have your head on a swivel. Don't fall too much into a situation where you feel like, just don't, let's not put ourselves in these situations. Be aware, pay attention. My name is Tiara Williams. I'm also known as Miss Black Hollywood. If you are looking for me, you can find me at Miss Black Hollywood on all platforms.
All right. Dr. Felice, what's your final thoughts, dear?
My final thought is that most of us are looking for...
Wrong person. Hold on.
My final thought is most of us are looking for love, but we must first learn to love ourselves so that we can recognize not only red flags, but recognize real love. My name is Felice Hightower Britt. I'm the B.Big.Coach on Instagram and Facebook, and you can reach me on www.thebebigcoach.com. Thank you.
B.Big.Coach. Hey, Dr. Charm, what's up? What's your final thoughts?
My final thought is that this is really heartbreaking, but there's a level of ego being stroked with these women who engage with men who are in prison. A perfect example, Luigi Mangione, the United Healthcare killer. Everybody, we were all going crazy on how good looking this man was. And when they arraigned him, and I think he went to one of his preliminary hearings, there were so many women in the hallway. I mean, it looked like it was a Magic Mike or whatever, the male strip show. And these were good looking women just sitting out there just waiting to just get a glimpse of him walk by. So there's a level of ego involved in that. And so, women, we just have to be cautious and careful and practice self-love and self-preservation and get mental health help, because there are a lot of people in the church who are masking everything with Jesus. Religious addiction is a real addiction. It might not be classified in the DSM-5, but it is a real addiction, and people are masking this stuff with church and Jesus. Get help. You can find me at Charm Girl 77 on Instagram for my latest skits and comedy shows. I'm always posting what I'm going to be seeing next. And for the folks who are interested in astrology, I am teaching an astrology class starting April 12th, 3-week class. You can contact me at 404-832-5179 if you want to participate in the astrology course that we'll be doing for 3 weeks.
Yo, you got a website for that, Dr. Charm?
No, I don't, but you can message me and we'll get it going. 404-832-5179. That's my number to register for the astrology course. And if you also want a psychic medium or tarot card reading.
What about a DM? Can I get your Instagram, or you just only?
Yeah, you can DM me on Instagram too. My Instagram is at CharmGirl77. Again, at CharmGirl77, and we'll get y'all right, because these planets, see, if she had come to me for an astrology reading, I could have looked at their planets, and so you can see potential for domestic violence when you put two charts together, a male chart and a female chart, and they can be domestically violent with one person, but not with the other, based on certain planetary contacts, like a moon and Mars contact.
Interesting. Okay. Well, all I gotta say is it's tough. Like I said earlier, how come people can't just be normal? Like, I like you, you like me, we get together, everything is going and it's flowing, bars. So, it's just tough. And I would say just, continue to pray, seek God, ask him to send you your person, stop going out there and seeking. This lady seemed like she was sold out for the Lord, but she obviously wasn't listening to God, because I don't think he would have led her down the path of this horrifying death. So I think it's really sad. And it's unfortunate. And then for the lady who said, dating a man over 45, is a bad thing. I don't know. Everybody's individual, everybody's an individual. And I guess we can't paint everybody with a broad brush, because, you might find your match, different folks for different strokes. But what we talked about here, you guys, it's deep and it's real. Whether it's understanding why some women are hesitant to date older men, or digging into the dangers of relationships with incarcerated men, these conversations are necessary. At the end of the day, we have to make smart, informed choices and look out for each other as a community. So thank you to our panel, Dr. Charm, Joe, Felice, Tiara, bringing these insights and perspectives to the table. And thank you to the audience for joining the conversation. Y'all was real deep in the comments. It was amazing. I love for y'all to talk back to us and talk back to us. Listen, you guys, I'm doing a training on how to make your business into reality, how to bring your idea to life. I'm doing this training this Saturday. I still have a couple of spots available. It's a small workshop, but I'm doing this because I really want to help you guys to really crystallize your idea and take it from ideation to manifestation to monetization. So if you are interested, go to bringyouridealife.com. I'm going to put it in the comments and register with me. I think I got maybe 3 more spots available. So if you're interested, please go to bringyouridealife.com. It's in 3 days. It's all day. It's intensive. It's hands-on. And it'll be this Saturday. All right. So listen, we're going to see you tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel. We are on Spotify. So if you can't hear us, if you can't watch us, you can listen to us. So make sure you search for Fly Nubian Money. And we're here every day. Also, make sure you text the word Queens to 87948. That's QUEENS to 87948. See you tomorrow. Peace.